Hi friends, for the next couple of episodes, I'm going to be playing a game called Brainstorming on Zoom. It's actually a game I'm creating out of the book Designing Your Life by Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. I hope you'll consider putting together your own game of brainstorming on Zoom. It's really a lot of fun, and it's a great way to come up with ideas. You can create a prompt of your own, or you can choose a prompt from a list that I've created down below. If you want to be a participant in one of these Zoom brainstorming sessions, just comment below and I'll reach out to you. If you'd rather DM me, you can do that. And I look forward to playing a Zoom brainstorming game with you in the future. I think it's a really positive and fun way to get started with a conversation that doesn't always include news about how horrible things are right now. Let's get started.
Okay, I'm going to share a screen with you now with the instructions for our brainstorming session.
Is there a right answer to the question?
There are going to be 40 or 50 answers to this question if we do it right. That's the fun of brainstorming. Okay, the brainstorming rules are: go for quantity over quality, defer judgment, and do not censor ideas. Either your own ideas or someone else's, and that includes saying something like, ooh, that's a good idea. Because if you say that to one person, then the next guy that you don't say it to is going to be like, what's wrong with my idea? So no judging, either good or bad. Build off the ideas of others. That goes without saying. Encourage wild ideas. The weirder, the better, because when you get into that realm of, I can't think of anything, that's when you switch into that right brain and come up with really good stuff. And finally, take turns in order. This fifth step is not in the book. It's just something I've used in the past in teaching. There's no passing. So we're going to set up an order.
Roll for initiative.
Something like that. Yes. Here is your prompt. Come up with as many ideas as you can for changes you anticipate in the economy and culture of your country post COVID-19. We're going to put a 15-minute timer on the clock. We have people in Tulsa, Houston, Chicago, and Colonial Beach. I'm super excited.
Hacking into the mainframe, it looks like.
Yeah.
We're going to go Will, then Weston, then Nicole, then Team Adelman, then Cassie. And then we'll go back to Will. Go.
I think there's going to be an influx of scripts written specifically for Zoom.
Social distancing is going to definitely become a more ingrained term in our society.
I think that accessibility for theater will open up specifically with disability theater.
I think higher education is going to experience a resurgence of disability advocacy and saying that, yes, these things can be more accessible to people with disabilities, particularly in university. Yeah.
They're going to have more drive-in theaters. It's already starting. And I'm excited for that because I'm tired of people being really annoying in theaters.
From what Weston said, I've been looking forward to being able to text people like, I'm just practicing my social distancing. I think that'll be like a thing.
From what Will said earlier, I think that different ways to actually do theater will be created, and that's also building off of Cassie's thing as well on drive-ins. Yeah,
I'm imagining more high school shows that are experimental with all of the kids in black just staring at their screens and saying something about technology and how it helps but hinders.
I think we're going to see a lot more successful long-distance relationships because we have a bunch of new things built in for people to communicate when they can't be near each other.
Shows that wouldn't have been animated but are going to be now.
Underproduced projects, I think, especially in the next few months, like things that are much more indie because that's all anyone can do right now.
I think a lot of voiceover work will kind of boom in this kind of post-COVID world.
Delivery apps like Postmates and DoorDash and Uber Eats or whatever will become more efficient.
I think we're going to hit critical mass of podcasts.
Face masks are going to become a regular item in fashion retailers.
Yeah, duh. I have some really cute masks. Perhaps more of a homebodiness and a comfort with and like a mindfulness of like temperature change in a room and stuff like that.
The overall desire for globalization will change.
Medicare for all will have a big push in our policies.
I think we're going to see a lot more people who are working from home because they've realized that, oh, my job can be done from home. Like, I've been working from home this entire time, full time, and nothing in my job has changed.
Any stores or restaurants that reopen will have a permanently limited capacity.
Like a real estate boom, and I think it could go either way. It could go corporate snatching everything up, or it could go a boom in small businesses because, like Emily said, I think a lot of people might even just shut down their offices for lack of need of them, and that they might have lost them during this time, and that they ultimately decide they don't need them. And so I think there's going to be a lot of buildings available, and hopefully that will lead to more small businesses.
Small businesses and businesses in general that decide to open up and be open after this, there's going to be a term used to where it's like certified COVID-free or something like that, or COVID safe. I think that's going to be a term used with businesses.
When people do see people for the first couple months afterwards, that they're going to be really cognizant that this is like a gift and not something to take for granted, just to get like deep with it.
I think we're going to see a shift in deaf culture and technology for deaf people because with the influx of masks being worn, people can't speech read. There's a thing that they're trying to build that is essentially Alexa for deaf people that recognizes sign language. And I think we're going to see an increase in that kind of technology.
Kind of with the animated thing, I think video games will become a little more mainstream. And because so many more average people, including older people, are going to be maybe trying to play them just to pass time, maybe they'll have more options for VR games and they can advance in that a little bit more.
A diversity in, I don't know, I was reading an article about how young people now are going to have like 15 jobs as adults, like throughout their lives. And I just think people are going to diversify their skill sets a lot more. And a lot more people will become perhaps independent contractors of some kind, just because I find myself doing a different thing every day.
Going off of what Will said, I think an importance of having soft skills will be limited.
The economy will be bad, but it won't be as bad as the worst thing we can think of.
We're starting to see the rebirth of the hobby. I think for a long time, the hobby became the hustle, which is like you have to have something if you're doing something for fun, you have to also be making money off of it. And I'm starting to see a lot more people who are doing things for fun and with no intention of making any kind of money off of it. I think that's a really cool thing to be seeing because that died for a long time.
Well, I work at a grocery store and my homepage as an employee always has something about the stock market. So it seems like stores that are more food-based, their stock is going to go up. You know, stores with a good online retail operation, not necessarily Amazon because they're already at the top, but, you know, stores that have both in real life stores and online, their stock is going to go up, and anything that relies on being in person and has no delivery service will go down and probably die.
I think people's, like Americans' divorce from work for such a long time will, even if you are just working at home, that kind of is a divorce from your work environment. And I think it's going to kind of like what Emily was saying about hobbies, our priorities are shifting, and I think people are going to rethink how they think of money in general.
Less off the idea of what Will said, but more off the word divorce. I think there will be more divorces after this, and there will also in 9 months be a influx in babies. And possibly, you know, in 13, 14 years, we will coin the term quarantines.
Quarantine babies.
That's good.
TEENS, quarantines. Nice.
The resurgence of the guillotine is going to come back.
down to a serious level, I think there's going to be.
I'm very serious about
I'm
it.
super serious.
Okay, a more sober level then. I think
Cool.
from a personal standpoint, the museum field is going to take a major hit. And in particular, museum education, it's always the first thing to be cut or experience budget cuts. I think we're going to have to really rethink the museum field and how we engage with culture publicly.
I've noticed that a lot of online fashion retailers have started just taking pictures of the clothes and not the people. So maybe modeling might take a hit because it's hard to bring people in and have a shoot, and especially have like a full show.
Jeff Bezos buys the moon.
Small businesses able to pivot more than large businesses.
People are more aware of where they spend their money and how they spend their money.
People's homes start to reflect themselves more than just being a place to crash.
Everything will be delivery based. Everything.
You are all awesome. I'm so relieved to hear your thoughts, because the way you think about the future is really uplifting, other than the guillotine, of course. And,
Hey, I think it's uplifting. I think we should bring it back.
I feel really grateful that you are the future.
Thanks for joining me again on Study of One. Please do feel free to make a comment, and as always, like it if you like it, and subscribe if you think there's something in here for you. With something like the Zoom brainstorming sessions, please do feel free to share these videos with a friend that you might want to try this with. If you want to create your own brainstorming sessions on Zoom or Skype or whatever video chatting service you like to use, then feel free to make up your own prompt, or you can use one of the prompts below. If you're interested in participating in one of my Zoom sessions for the Study of One channel, then reach out to me in the comment section below, or you can DM me. Just remember, you are loved, you are cherished, and we will get through this together.